Hello, Christian. Once again, doing another, but this is not a contest entry. This is a long overdue response to a young fellow here in the VC, Raul Serrano. Um, he did a couple of weeks ago a cool thread. I think the name of it was "Love at First Listening." Those albums that we listen for the first time and absolutely love it. I'm going to show some of mine what I have here. I have not picked everything I loved at the first listen because it will be a very long video, and you don't want to see me that much. So without further ado, so here it is. Have some tapes, CDs, and vinyl. First, I'm going to go with tapes. Back in the day, I really love this one. Of course, my introduction to Token, and this is Tooth and Nail. This is where a different type of artwork. For what I've seen another artwork, but this is the one I knew here. Of course, my tape from back in the day. Really good one. Of course, Tooth and Nail, Without a Warning, Alone Again, the big song from here. So there it is, Token. Another one, cool tape. I think their best record, hands down, from this band that started as a goth band, and then they moved into the more hard rock. This one was recorded by Bob Rock. This is the Cult and Sonic Temple. Of course, great album. This one and the previous one, Electric, essential cult albums. Next one, of course, have to show some thrash. Megadeth, rest in peace. No need to add anything to these guys. Of course, nowadays they are in lots of trouble with Dave Ellefson being kicked out of the band. That sucks, but there it is. Back in the good days when they were Ellefson, Mustaine, Marty Friedman, and the late Dave Mensa. Nicky Mensa, sorry. Metallica and Justice for All, my tape from back in the day. Everything is in Spanish, of course. Big Song 1, but the other song, Blanket, Shortest Straw, and Justice for All, The Eye to Behold It, Harvester of Sorrow, classic, and a great one. And the last great album they put, maybe? Who knows? I think so. An artist, I don't see much of his stuff here in the VC, maybe because he's a guitar player, shredder. But Joe Satriani, The Extremist, of course, a really good one, fun album to listen and to put in the maybe as a background music, and enjoy what he does here. And this one, and Surfing with the Alien, I think one of the great albums he put out. I think yeah, he even did a video for Summer Song, great song. You guys over there in the Northern Hemisphere, maybe you can put that song when you are cruising in your cars and going for vacation, and you will enjoy Joe Satriani. Two more fine cassettes. Lynch Moth, the debut of George Lynch as a solo artist when Token break up, when they were still named Lynch Moth. Nowadays, I think he's not playing under this name anymore. I don't know, but this is a great album, Lynch Moth, which I find I'm selling for a CD of this one because I think vinyl it's almost impossible to get. So one of my greatest, Lynch Moth and Wicked Sensation. Another one, Skid Row and Slave to the Grind, great album. I know there was a reissue of this one on vinyl, impossible to get here, so I'm trying to get a nice CD of this one. So another great of mine, but an album that I love from start to end, Skid Row and Slave to the Grind. Now up to some CDs. The debut of Zakk Wylde with Ozzy, No Rest for the Wicked, great album. I think this is one of his best album. this is back in the day. Another great album, Miracle Man and Devil's Daughter, Breaking All the Rules. Classic songs, and the debut of a very skinny Zakk Wylde on the guitars, replacing Jake E. Lee. Next, here we have Raven, All for One, great album. The dudes back with Rob Hunter Wacko on still on drums. This is a reissue from back in the day. No, I think not so old, this reissue, a really good one. But there it is, Raven, All for One, great album. Next one, Bruce Dickinson, Accident of Birth. I think this is one of his best albums he put out as a solo artist. This one and Chemical Romance, but I think I like this one a tiny bit more. Of course, he was teaming up with Roy Z and Adrian Smith. That was the big thing. Two Maiden guys were back together. Bruce Dickinson and Accident of Birth. Next, sorry, I don't think we need to argue very much about this album, except Restless and Wild. Sorry, brain fart over there. This is the European artwork cover. I think I like it a little bit more this one. This is the US artwork. I think that I'm quite sure this was the artwork you get there in the States, but if you buy it in Europe, you get this one. Classic after classic after classic after classic, with the opening tracks Fast as a Shark, Restless and Wild, Ahead of the Pack, all awesome albums from the Teutonic masterpiece they were back in the day. This is their fourth album, but I love it. The first time I listened, I don't think I listened it on when they was released. I think I listened a couple of years later, but still then I love it very much. Two more CDs. This is a compilation, a tribute album, that when I listened to it for the first time, I found it amazing. All the bands put in this tribute together to one of the forefathers of heavy metal. Of course, this is Nativity in Black, volume 1. Here we have Megadeth, White Zombie, Biohazard, Sepultura, Ozzy with Therapy, Corrosion of Conformity, Bruce Dickinson, Ugly Kid Joe, Faith No More, Bullring, Promise, Type of Negative, and 10,000 Omo DJs doing a very good tribute to the mighty Black Sabbath. If you have not checked this one out, please do it. It's way much better than Volume 2 that it was released a couple of years later after this one. I think this album is celebrating this year, maybe. Yep, I think 30 years from its release. So there it is. And finally, the last CD I want to show is from an alternative band, a weird band for many guys because of the tone of the singer and the type of music they play. It's Primus and Sailing the Sea of Cheese. Awesome band. I have the chance of seeing them, I think 1, 2, 3 times here in Santiago. The last time I saw them, they were performing Free to Fly on their entire. They did also they do an evening with Primus here in a very elegant theater here when they play classical music. And the National Theatre, yes, they did an evening with Primus, and I saw them opening for the reunion of Faith No More back in I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, or maybe. But this is I think this is their masterpiece. I think it's much better than Freeze Fry. Of course, Tommy the Cat, 11, Is It Luck, Jerry Was a Race Car Driver. Awesome album. If you can go over and not hate Les Claypool's goofy lyrics and his voice, you will find an awesome band here in Primus, Sailing the Sea of Cheese. Now on to the vinyl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Metallica, Master of Puppets, their best one. Oh, there's a one. It depends. Sometimes it's this one, or sometimes it's Ride the Lightning. Halloween, Keeper of the Seven Keys. I told the story a couple in for another video how I discovered this band. Listening to a local radio, they play records. They debut records at a show they have at 6 o'clock. So I put a cassette, press record. Had no idea who this band was, and it was love at first listen. Halloween, Keeper of the Seven Keys, Part 1. This is my present from back in the day. It's not a gatefold, it's a single disc. Next, a band discovered in 1987, DAD, No Fuel Left for the Pilgrims. This is their debut with Warner Brothers. They put out 2 albums with them, but then they got dropped off by the record label. It's a really, really good cow-punk band. They are a Danish band. They are still putting some awesome material, and they put out, I think last year, a great album that is very expensive to get over here. Prayer for the Loud. But if you want to start listening to DAD, this is one you need to get. Next, 2 more, we are over. Best band from the heavy metal, Spanish heavy metal scene. This is Balón Rojo and their biggest selling album, I think, Volumen Brutal. This one was, this is their English version. They recorded of course, in England. Of course, the original edition present, it's sung in Spanish. They put out this one. I think because they did a really good doing a Reading festival. When they did very good business over there, they put out this album there for the English market. I don't think they went very well with this one because they have a very heavy Spanish from Spain accent, and it's kind of weird and tough to listen. Even for us that we speak Spanish, they have a very heavy accent. The guys from Spain. So it's tough for them to sing in English when it's not maybe taught from being taught at school or for very little, and you learn a second language, and when you try to sing in another language and it's not your main tongue, it's kind of different. And finally, my favorite band, Maiden. This one, love at first listen. Nothing more to say. Best artwork from any band, hands down. One of the best albums over there. Somewhere in time. What else can I say? It's Maiden. So Raul, that's it. This is my entry. Sorry it took me so long to do this one. Hope you're doing okay. This is Christian saying goodbye. Hope you like my choices, my trip into memory lane to remember all these albums that I love the first time I listened to them, and that I still love very much until this day. So once again, this is Christian. Say goodbye. Till next time. See ya.